Woman bans kids under 12 from pub. Parents go crazy. Hey everyone, welcome back to Lives on Reddit. Don't forget to subscribe to be a for lifer. The post features a link to an article that reads, "A pub landlady has banned under 12s as she's had enough of badly behaved kids ignoring social distancing rules." The 67-year-old has said families with kids are only allowed in the pub between 12 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. on Sunday, and that she has no plans to reverse the rule once the pandemic eases. Lucy said, "It's their parents' fault. They just don't discipline them. So 75% of the children that come in now, they're screaming and running around and not sitting at tables. How many parents do you guys think that won't respect that rule?" I was at a pub near Whitby the other week, and one family turned up with 3 kids who were the biggest little craps ever. As soon as they got there, they started running around next to everyone, screeching, jumping into bushes in the beer garden, smashing plants up, throwing rocks around. This was all within the first 5 minutes of them being there. We tried to give the parents a chance to tell them off or calm them down, but they did nothing, just did not care. Eventually, we told them to control their kids, and they had the audacity to get annoyed at us. So we informed the staff, who came and asked them to leave. It's times like that where I think my girlfriend understands why I don't want kids. I never understood that mentality. If your kids are ruining everyone else's day and you're asked to get them under control, if you get a headache because you're being asked to look after your own kids, then frick off. You shouldn't even be drinking while in charge of minors. So if you're going to ignore that and drink anyway, then you better at least follow simple instructions. I'm glad they're banning kids from this place, and to be honest, I hope that more places ban kids too. Most pubs are quiet drinking and eating establishments, and too many are ruined by loud children running around. I was never like that when I was younger, and I've got ADHD for freak's sake. It's 100% the parents' fault. They think because they're tired and have to work hard to take care of the kids they chose to have, that we should all just suck it up and deal with it. Nah, social etiquette still applies when you have kids. Yeah, I don't give a frick if you're tired. Dude, I'm tired. Go take your kids someplace else. Her pub, her rules. But who in their right mind even brings a kid to a pub? I remember once years ago sitting on a pub drinking with friends, and this couple came in with their daughter around age 12. Apparently they craved beer, and the poor girl just sat there quietly and waited for them to finish, looking like she just wanted the ground to open up and swallow her. They didn't even buy her anything to drink, a soda or freaking water. Nothing. But dang if it wasn't important that they got their beer in a pub instead of at home, where she could at least go outside or to her room and do something with her day. I stayed in a Childfree hotel once in Montreal, not because it was child-free, but because it had a great location and good price. Being child-free was just a great big bonus, plus a spa and swimming pool, all child-free. I only look for filters on travel booking sites for adult-only or child-free, though you rarely see the former, never the latter. I think it'd be a big market for anyone, child-free or not, to enjoy their holiday without children. Oh God. I work for a hospitality company, and while it's not my real job, I've been very cheerfully hosting for my manager friend if he's in a bind, and I need to share the best, not part of a call I've taken. And I don't think I need to say, keep in mind this is a pandemic, to you lovely people. Guest: "So do you guys still have games to play?" Me: "No, unfortunately we can't put them out due to sanitation concerns." "Okay, so do you have anywhere for kids to run around and play?" "No, they would have to stay seated at a table." Do you have any space for 8 tonight with 4 kids?" Not until 9 p.m. Thankfully, they didn't come, and at least she asked, but are you kidding me right now? This is typical. So annoying. "Do you have a place for them to play?" This is a restaurant. There's probably a playland at McDonald's. Also, I don't know if she did this to you or not, but 8 with 4 kids is so unclear. You don't know if they're counting said kids or not. So do you want a table for 8 or 12? Hospitality and food service is very tiring work. You get it. I have no idea how I maintain my composure. At least it was on the phone and she didn't know I was hardcore rolling my eyes. I went out to eat with my boyfriend's family and their distant relatives, and I was shocked at how badly they let their kids behave. They were literally running around Red Lobster, playing tag, crawling under the table, etc., while everybody was eating, and nobody even said anything. I felt like I was in crazy town. Apparently kids can just do whatever they want now. If I even whined at the dinner table when I was out to eat, my parents would get pissed at me. It's like our culture has become child worshipping or some crap. It's funny, the lady in the original post didn't even ban kids outright, only limited to 1 day, and they are still pissed. Parents are so entitled nowadays. Regarding, it's like our culture has become child worshipping or some crap, and I think it's more like we've allowed parents to elevate themselves to an undeserved status. They're now somehow special if they manage to reproduce. Yes, surely something no other human has ever done before, incredible, and feel like no one else is allowed to parent their kid or kids. Then they get defensive when someone actually does parent their children, because those moments make them realize just how much they suck. Too long didn't read. It's a PR campaign by breeders to elevate their own status and justify their non-parenting. I didn't even know it was allowed to take your kids to a place that serves alcohol other than a restaurant. Why would you take your kids to a bar? I hope it's legal for her to have this rule, or she'll be forced to change it. No parent would follow it if it isn't legal. If it's legal, they still try to disrespect it, but the landlady can kick them out or call the cops, so they'll be dealt with. Good rule, by the way. This might shock you. People regularly, or did before COVID, hold birthday parties in pubs. There was even a thing called wacky warehouses, which were family-friendly pubs that were part of a chain that had a kids' soft play area and outside play park. Usually climbing frames and swings and a sophisticated-looking thing with wobbly planks of wood you had to walk across to get down the slide. I was never allowed to go there as a child. I really missed out. The problem with kids in pubs started when non-family friendly pubs without designated kids areas were forced to become family friendly. That is, accepting kids being in there for something to eat and drink, and no physical changes put into designated kid-friendly area, which is understandable because that would alienate the regulars and also cost a lot of money if it was even feasible. A lot of pubs in the UK are 100 years old, and parents just thought the whole pub could be the kids' playground instead, and other people would watch their kids. I agree with her. I used to live next door to a pub. Never again. Sounded like I lived next door to a school playground. Screaming children, running children, all day long. It's a pub garden, full of tables, chairs, people trying to relax with friends and family. But no, there are 45 children running around. The pub actually alienated the locals because of this. It's not the pub's fault. They tried so many times to get parents to discipline their children. They had sign-ups, staff would step in, nothing changed. It always horrified me to see stories like this. Years ago, my husband and I went to a restaurant and there were 2 kids wildly running around, going under tables, bumping into servers, stomping up and down on chairs, screaming, etc. They were anywhere from 2-ish to about 5. At some point I finally just said, "Are you kidding me?" 3 adults sat at the table completely oblivious for about 20 minutes. I have 2 severely autistic children and have never let them behave in that way in public. I go with my husband. If our kids couldn't quickly be settled under 2 minutes, one would pack up and leave. The other would get the bill. My kids learned fast. I can't imagine being so careless that restaurants actively change their policies because of me. Hilarious quotes. So you've been happily taking families' money for years, but now you ridicule them? You're buying crap. Nothing was taken from you. Further, no one's being ridiculed. I've always recommended this pub for the excellent food. I'm completely shocked at your stuffy arrogance to make this decision. Privilege, not a right. Based on bad behavior, the privilege was revoked. This pub is an adult environment. It shouldn't be a child's creche, and most of my regulars are there every day or 2 to 3 times per week just for a quiet drink or meal. Correct, Miss Pub Owner. Whoa. Don't leave. Subscribe. Be a for lifer.